Happy Wednesday, and thanks for being a part of the program. Happy, maybe a stretch if we're referring to the weather. Big shift there in the afternoon, and we're going to continue to see that. And we're still looking at upper 30s for daytime highs tomorrow. Still looking at big, heavy, slushy snow to fall, and a winter weather advisory already in effect for some parts of eastern Kentucky. And I'll have the latest in just a few moments. I'm trying to paint a happy face. I like snow. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I just want it to be big and stick around when it does happen and, not tease us quite so much. But we are going to see a big change, and we're already seeing it, as a matter of fact. There is some 60s, and there's also some return to some cold air in your 7-day. Again, all that in just a few moments. Another indictment returned by the Magauffa County Grand Jury. A Magauffa County man jailed on similar charges for which he was indicted here already in Magauffa County for theft of services and cold checks, as well as a lot of other news and information and coverage of last night's Magauffa County Fiscal Court meeting. We'll begin with last evening. I had a number of indictments which have been returned, at least 2 or 3, I think, by the city Magauffa County Grand Jury. Another has been served and therefore made public to us. However, there's no accompanying photograph. Melissa Goodman of Paint Lick, Kentucky, who had a previous arrest in the Big Sandy Jail several years ago, was actually arrested in the Perry County area and placed in jail there, and has since bonded out on a Magauffa County indictment of possession of a controlled substance in the first degree, possession of marijuana, possession of a controlled substance in the second degree, and DUI second offense. This is, again, an indictment returned after a testimony from the Kentucky State Police, specifically Trooper Dustin Thompson. Again, Goodman was arrested on the warrant but in Perry County and has since bonded out, and that's all the details I have at this time. A Magauffa County man was placed in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center on serious felony charges, similar to charges that he was already indicted for here and facing in Magauffa County. Henry Doug Allen was the name of the following complaint warrant out of Breathitt County for theft by deception, defrauding a customer, if you will, of, they say, about $23,500. Indicted just weeks ago for 2 similar incidents in totality, totaling tens of thousands of dollars in theft by deception or deceptive business practices here in Magauffa County. This comes out of Breathitt County, where a warrant was served in the name of Henry Doug Allen for theft by deception, over $10,000. Breathitt County Sheriff's Department officials say that he entered into a written contract with the victim for remodeling their home for a total amount of $58,000. And after entering into that deal, the victim paid him $33,500 up front, after which Allen allegedly did about $10,000 worth of work and left and didn't return. And according to the Breathitt County Sheriff's Department, refuses to return and complete the job, and refuses to return the balance of the money paid to him by the victim, which amounts to about $23,500. The charges are related to events that were said to have happened in July of last year. There was also a 2-car crash today. 1 person was taken to the hospital. I'm told 2 vehicles, both traveling south, this one in front of the other, a rear-end collision in which the driver of this vehicle, the passenger car which struck the rear of the minivan, was taken by ambulance to an area hospital with unknown injuries. There was no one reportedly taken to the hospital from the scene, from our understanding, for medical treatment from the vehicle which was struck. The Kentucky State Police, out of Post 9 in Pikeville, were handling the accident.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH, more for Appalachia.
It's fall, and you can find it in all its warm, vibrant glory on the latest fashions, apparel, and accessories and home decor at the seasonal shop, where you can also embrace your inner claws as Christmas is hitting the shelves as we speak. Stop by anytime and pick out the perfect gift, birthday, wedding, baby, for anyone, and get cracking on those next level Christmas decorations at the seasonal shop in downtown Salyersville. SMB is proud to stand with you with what might be your very first and definitely last checking, savings, retirement, even Christmas club account, along with consumer, auto, mortgage, business loans that you can easily manage from anywhere in the world with safe, secure mobile and online banking that comes from over 120 years of commitment to your financial life and well-being, today, tomorrow, and forever. Salyersville National.
At Big Sandy Healthcare, every patient is seen as an individual deserving of respect, compassion, and top quality care. For us, it isn't about who they are or where they come from, but about the dignity and the care that they deserve. Our commitment goes beyond simply treating diseases. We tackle food insecurity, transportation problems, and other barriers many of our patients experience that hold them back from living fuller, healthier lives. At Big Sandy Healthcare, that's what sets our organization apart.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small town values.
And mom and dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars. I believe in always finding a way to do what you love. I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
A glimpse into a few important things in tomorrow's Salyersville Independent in just a few seconds right now. McGoffin Farm Bureau is proud to sponsor tonight's and every night's community calendar. First and foremost, it's happy anniversary wishes tonight. Happy 49th wedding anniversary wishes to Archie and Bonnie Ingram. Had a long list of calls and emails about this one, guys, wanting us to wish you the very happiest of 49th anniversary. So from all of your family, a lot of friends with a lot of love, happy 49 years to Archie and Bonnie Ingram. With that said, don't forget the big vendor fair coming up at the Extension Service, a holiday vendor affair, crafts, food, jewelry, home decor, much more. You want to be a vendor, call, just $20 a table. For everyone else, it's going to be Friday, December the 6th, 9 till 7. And you're saying, that's so far away. No, it's not. Today is the 20th of November. And that means you've got just a few more days, Monday, to get in the holiday wreath workshop they have planned. You got to pre-register. It's just $15. It lasts the whole day, 10 till 6, so plenty of time to stop in. They'll give you everything you need at the Extension Service to leave with a beautiful live wreath that you put together and made yourself, with a little help if you so choose. Country hams available at the Extension Service, $50. You can get extra hams for $50. It's an annual event. You need to be a part of this. You need to get your order in by Friday, December the 6th. And that again, of course, 349-3216. Call me with any calendar announcements you may have, and of course, birthdays or anniversaries. Funeral service announcements as we turn to tonight. One listing tonight. It comes from Jones and Preston in Paintsville, and they tell us that 78-year-old Roger Martin Vaughn of Russell, formerly of Leander, passed away Sunday at Cabell Huntington, survived by his wife Judy Steed Vaughn, a daughter, 2 granddaughters, 3 sisters, and a host of family, with services to start this Saturday at 1 from the Jones and Preston Funeral Home. For visitation, you can visit the funeral home from 11 in the morning till 1 on Saturday, with services to start thereafter. Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or a relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
For whatever reason, if your working days are over, don't do anything before you meet Grover. Social Security, disability, SSI, work injuries, wear and tear, and hearing loss. 888-9-GROVER.
Johnson Central High School stands alone in providing the most college and career programs of study in one building throughout the entire state of Kentucky. This includes pathways in everything from the medical field to engineering, telemedia, welding, agriculture, and even aviation. And that's just to name a few of the 32 different choices. Work has also been started on a brand new state-of-the-art high school. So now is the time for your child to experience the power of opportunities in Johnson County schools.
Green Tree Forest Products wants to buy your timber. Our skilled log procurement team has 4 generations and 70 years of experience buying over 24 million feet of hardwoods every year, which means you'll get the most dollars out of your logs and timber by calling any of our 3 locations in Salyersville, Moorhead, or Wallingford, Kentucky. In the Salyersville and surrounding area, call 495-1198. Green Tree Forest Products. Experience over 30 years of exceptional, impeccable elegance and beauty at Seasons Florist, now in Salyersville, offering the very freshest in floral designs, custom and in-stock wreaths, arrangements, gifts, and so much more that you'll have to visit to try to see it all. Plus, they have tuxedo rental, free delivery within the city limits of Salyersville, and you can even place orders after hours. Call anytime. Seasons Florist on Parkway Drive, 349-4000. Thanks to you, Frazier's Prater Drug has been voted #1 in customer satisfaction with Good Neighbor Pharmacies for the 7th year in a row. With curbside pickup for all of your prescription, allergy, or even multivitamin needs. Or come in and pull up a stool while you shop, or just visit downtown and treat yourself to something extra tasty or sweet. Where locally owned means a more personal, reliable, and friendly pharmacy. Frazier's Prater Drug. You can call it low carb because it is ultra low carb. And you can also call it one of the tastiest meals ever. Seasoned roast breast strips are perfect green beans, and cooked cabbage so good that sometimes I just get a pint of it and a Diet Pepsi and make it a meal. All you have to do is make your way to your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Now it's time for local governmental coverage, referring to last night's Magoffin County Fiscal Court meeting. We'll go through a couple of items on the agenda and discussion therein. First, we'll turn to concerns from Judge Executive Matt Wireman that he has referred to on previous occasions, but in more detail during last night's meeting, about how bidding laws and regulations keep kind of pigeonholing Magoffin County into not getting roads blacktopped every year that are supposed to be and on the schedule to be blacktopped every year with state money, and how next year he promises to change that in some form or fashion.
It's every year we're pushed up against the wall, and the state giving us money to resurface roads that they obviously approve. But we shouldn't, just because we're a small county, we're what, $340,000 or something like that the state allocated to resurface these roads. But they're out doing other things, just bigger pots of money and kicking us down the road. There are smaller blacktopping companies out there that would bid, but Hinkle underbids them, and then keeps us from being able to go there. So I'm gonna probably talk to Travis and talk to Keiko and see if there ain't some way that we can just tell them, do what's called measurable criteria, and where they fail to provide the services they bid in the past, that we may be able to revoke their bid. So we'll look into that, because it's every year. I shouldn't have to call down and talk to the CEO of the company and talk to the vice president of asphalt and call the governor's office and call everybody, put pressure on to come up here and do our roads. Our citizens deserve the same as everybody else, and if it means we pay a few dollars more to a smaller vendor, then let's do it, because getting the blacktop at a little bit higher cost means we're driving on it, not waiting on Hinkle to decide that we're worthy of their services.
You'd think if they had plenty of business, they'd just hire more people.
Well, to hear them tell it, they can't get enough people, and I know that's probably the case, but don't take on more work than you can handle either.
No.
And we do this every single year, and it's to the point now, I'm tired of it. This is 6 years in a row we thought this.
Well, Keegan said there's right up here,
they're up here doing state roads, but they drive right past the roads that
that's what I say, Could be a time period put on them?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're going to have to come up with some bid specs, say if you don't have these done by X date, then we're going somewhere else.
In October or something,
Doesn't the state have penalties for them if they don't?
And that's why they're going there. Their contracts put penalties in. But a lot of times when we do the bids, they've just done ours, and we don't know what roads we're going to get approved with at the next session.
Right, yeah.
So it's hard for us to bid it in June, and us not seeing what we get until July or August timeframe.
Maybe if we could just give them a deadline.
We're going to have some criteria in there. I can guarantee you. I ain't fighting it about next year.
From there, the court approved the recommendation of the McGoffin County Extension Board for the positions to be filled on the board of or by Janice Lemaster and Susie Huseman. I think Lemaster already on the board. They as well accepted some grant money, which they would have accepted a few years ago had they known about it. 2022 grant money, an EMA program fund that they applied for in 2022 and received, but were never notified until just days or weeks ago when they called to say, hey, this money is still lying here, but the county just had never been informed of it. It was $35,000 then and still is to purchase a new side-by-side for the emergency services and for county services, and hopefully put to good use whenever the trail system, which is still underway, and I'll leave it at that for now until we get our next update, but still in the planning stages, becomes a reality. So that's a good thing. While the judge then turned to communications and wished to address some grumblings, as he referred to them, about the water project, getting water to 378, 542, and Route 1502 areas in McGoffin County, wanting to reassure that the project is moving, just not as fast as he or anyone else would really like.
It's a slow process. We've got multiple pots of money, and a lot of it is federal money. Federal money has a lot of red tape and strings attached. Right now, that water project is in what's called environmental stage, and that has a lot of different factors involved, including they mail out letters to a lot of different entities and cultural groups and all kinds of things, and they have to have time to respond, and then when they don't respond, or they do, after a certain time frame, they have to investigate the responses, and that takes time. And then once that's done, then we move on to the next phase. So it's still in environmental. Hopefully, all of this environmental stuff will be done, and the state will give the thumbs up to move into the easement phase, which is going out and getting easements where needed in the coming weeks, or that's what I'm told. Once the easements are got, the designs will be finalized. I think the designs have been finalized and approved by the state, but then the bid documents will be created, and it'll be bid out for construction. That's probably going to be next spring at the soonest, but probably late spring, if I was guessing on how these kind of things work. There is no money in an account sitting here at the county waiting to be spent for being spent on something else. When we get awards like this, and we apply for grants, and they give us those big plastic checks, that's just ceremonial saying we've been allotted an amount of money out of a pot of money for this specific thing. Then once we start the project, we draw down on that. And that comes out of Frankfurt or out of DC. We don't have that here. So I've heard that there's been some rumblings that we've got money sitting in an account down here and we're spending on other things and all that, and that's just totally wrong. And that very rarely does it happen that they send us money up front. There are a few smaller grants, $5,000 or $10,000 that might happen on, but that's not going to happen on $2.5 million. As part of the design, they changed it a little. There's going to be what's called a skid tank, which costs another $100,000. I want to give kudos to the Water District and Dwayne Arnett and them. They went ahead and applied for the extra money, got another $100,000 to cover that. So everything is funded. It's just got to go through the process. The other project that we got going on is the Amler project, Abandoned Mine Land Economic Revitalization. That's down at the industrial park. That was $1 million that we got to do gravity feed sewer, to do geotesting and prep for a 50,000 square foot facility. We had a hard time getting engineers to take the job. That has now happened, and the designs are in process. It'll have to go through the environment, all those things to us. Hopefully that will happen and take place next summer too. We've got Emerald Energy and we've got Tech Center that are putting their monies and designs together. So when this gets done, they'll start their construction. And they said as soon as that happens, that's what they're going to do. So everything's moving. It may not be moving as fast as some people may like, me being one of them. Yeah. But things are moving.
And in closing, Judge Wireman and the magistrates and court wished everyone a happy Thanksgiving. They are in the next room and actually at many other locations elsewhere working remotely to put tomorrow's paper together. And with that, two things that I want to make mention of, a lot of sports, as always, that you'll need to make read. But nevertheless, it's Thanksgiving nearly, and we pose the annual question, as we always do, to kids, little ones, how do you fix your turkey? And everything from I just don't to some interesting microwave recipes that you might want to try, and maybe not. But it is certainly a good read. Also, Heather has been working throughout much of the afternoon putting together coverage of the Sayersville City Council meeting from earlier this week. I still have gotten about half of the edit to do, but I can tell you that during this meeting on Monday night, the Sayersville City Council met in regular session, a large portion of which David Gardner, the former superintendent of the Sayersville Waterworks, addressed the council. He did so first over the speed limit at the west end of town, where the 25-mile-per-hour speed limit is vastly ignored coming off the Ivy Point Hill. But also he took much of his time talking about and questioning raises and vacation time and purchases made within the Sayersville Waterworks. He says without any authority of the Sayersville Waterworks, then Commissioner Board. He also questioned bills which had been referred to in a previous meeting unpaid for the year 2022, which would have been while under his tenure, who he took issue with. That, of course, was reflected as far as our investigation goes in a previous Sayersville Independent report. Gardner also mentioned a statement in the last meeting of the Sayersville City Council indicating that the previous administration had never serviced the grinder pumps, to which he also took issue with. We'll have his and the mayor's remarks on the program at a later time, hopefully tomorrow. You can also read the entire story in tomorrow's edition of the Sayersville Independent, and we encourage you to do so. With that said, we're going to wrap it up with your weather forecast, and there's a wild one for you. All right, here it is. What I'm going to say is about half of you what you've been looking for and what the other half has been dreading. A cold storm system spreading snow showers initially mixed with some rain at some locations across eastern Kentucky tomorrow, and they're going to transition into a period of steadier snow for a point tomorrow evening into your Friday morning, and then it's back to rain. Now, what time is this all going to happen? Well, accumulation from Thursday evening to Friday morning is possible. Remember the ground temperature. It's going to keep us from seeing, as much as we could have had this been a little later on in the season. A winter weather advisory has been issued from tomorrow evening through mid-morning Friday for those purple counties there. That, of course, is the upper elevations, who will, of course, see a better chance of some snowfall. And I believe that they will. More details on that in a few seconds. Take a look at current conditions outside. We topped out right at 68 earlier today and right where we were expected. I mean, it was a warm front out there, and when it was gone, and you quickly felt its disappearance. And we fell fast down to 47, and now we're down to 43 right now. East winds at 4 miles per hour right now, but had one clocked at 20 just a little while ago, so it's been breezy today. Get used to that. Humidity 78%. We picked up almost a quarter of an inch of rain on today's date. Sunrise 7:19 and sunset at 5:19. Now here is your best I can give you as far as your timeline and potential precipitation for the next few days and the chance of some snow. There's 100% chance, 1,000% chance we're going to see cold air. Tonight, we should fall down to around 36 for most everyone. That west-southwesterly wind, anywhere from 5 to 18 miles per hour, still at times. It's on the wane right now, as I told you, but we're still seeing it for a little while longer tonight. Snow chances, well, really aren't until tomorrow between noon and 4. That's when snow showers will start to possibly show up. We'll see clouds on the increase tomorrow. We're only going to see 2 degrees on top of our nighttime low tomorrow as this system rolls through. That's right, 36 tonight and in the morning, and we'll move 2 degrees to about 38 tomorrow. We'll see winds anywhere up to 30 miles per hour out of the west tomorrow. Accumulation of less than a half inch tomorrow. 1 to 2 inches tomorrow night. There it is. That's the ticket. Am I sounding like Clark Griswold? That's what we're going with. 1 to 2 tomorrow night. Cold air, certainly. Tomorrow, we have a chance of snow before noon, but then we're going to hit around 43. There's likely still to be some moisture around, and if so, it'll turn back to rain, and the snow is going to be, if we see any, will be quickly gone. We're talking about a 50% chance of rain all the way through Friday night, mainly before 11, 37, and winds still up to 10 or 20 miles per hour. And Saturday, as you saw, things dry out, and we see the sun come out. I think skies will be really heavy clouds, filled with heavy clouds early, but becoming mostly sunny and around 48 degrees for your Saturday. There's the latter half of your weekend, taking us on through next week. Mostly sunny and 57 on Sunday. I'm going to say Christmas light time. Yeah, be a good day for it. The winds are going to be calmed down by Sunday. Saturday's not going to be a bad day, a little bit more chilly, but definitely Sunday. I'm thinking that's when the lights might go up on the studio here. Nevertheless, we get back to rain Monday, 60 and 45. We're on the countdown to Thanksgiving. Mostly cloudy, a 70% chance on Monday. Tuesday, we start the downhill trend again. 52, partly sunny, a 30% chance of rain. Wednesday, the eve of Thanksgiving, 46, partly sunny, and a 40% chance of rain. That's it. Good night. Get a paper tomorrow, and I'll see you after. Thank you for being a part of the show. Whether you've got a new ride and you want it to stand out in the crowd, or you want your current ride to look and feel like a new one, no one does lifts, wheels, and tires better than Conley's. Stop in now for spring tire specials, free quotes, and 0% financing, or log on to conleytire.com.